All right, show me what you have.
So this is a Tammy doll case, but there's mixed Tammy and Barbie stuff in it.
Okay.
Um,
And which doll did you like to play with the most?
this one I bought when I was like 5 years old.
And how much did you pay for?
I think $5 because that was like the standard birthday gift back then for
Yes.
my grandparents.
So this is the mid-60s standard Barbie. This is the year they finally changed the head mold. Before that, they were all the same head mold and body mold, and they just changed the paint and changed the hair. But when they came out with this one, oh my God, I had one of these too. And you can look and see her profile kind of sticks out. And I just thought she was so beautiful. And then she's got on her mod outfit. And then we have all these wonderful mod clothes that we've actually taken very good care of for them to have been played with. And we've got several outfits in here. They're what we call the mod period, which they're going to be bright colors. They're going to be labeled Barbie. Oh, they're just, this is Francie. That's even better because we love Francie even better than this standard Barbie. But she had the mod clothes too. And then you've got Skipper. And then, who's the other doll?
This was a Malibu Barbie.
It's Malibu Barbie who got put on a clone body. So she's a little mad at you because she's got a nice tan face, but oh my God, the body looks like mine, totally pale. And trust me, in the 60s, I was so embarrassed. I was so pale. And if I wanted a suntan, guess what? I got sunburned.
Yeah.
So, but you've got, oh my God, the clothes are just, they're in great shape. Your doll's in great shape. She's got on her original bathing suit. She still has her original hair tie. So then you also have some vintage clothes that are Tammy and some other doll girl. Some, oh yeah, some are lovingly made at home. So I would say the set, we're not going to count the Tammy case because even if it's a Barbie case, we're not looking at a lot of value. I would say the whole set with the clothes, with the dolls, we're looking at somewhere between $300 and $400.
Great, thank you.
Do you have any questions about her?
No, my sister was going to put it out for a garage sale, so I'm glad she didn't.
Oh my gosh, I would be at that garage sale.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you, Billy. I'm gonna grab this microphone. Hi, so I'm Melanie, and you're live on set with Antiques Roadshow. We're at the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore, and you are at Roadshow's live appraisal event, the 5th stop on our season 29 tour, and we are just going to be filming live appraisals for the next hour or so. So put in the comments what you want to see, and we'll try to make our way over to that table. Right now, we have another appraisal with toys and games expert Noel Barrett. Hello, thank you. Noel, we're all set.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready,
He may not be.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I can talk about let's file those things, sure.
Okay. So you can do it here.
So
do you mind telling us what
Okay.
I probably got it at a garage sale many years ago.
And do you know how much you paid for it? Do you remember?
Probably not very much.
Hi.
But I grew up with the Ouija board.
Are you filming this for that?
Yeah.
Oh, you've already got her.
Yeah, you're ready to go.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, here we are in Baltimore, and this is one of the great toys made in Baltimore. And of course, you know what it is, a Ouija board. Supposedly, you tell if you're, a lot of people are freaked out by these. Absolutely do not want them in the house. Now, Fold was the major maker here in America, and this was like the 1890s, 1910 era. You're missing. This is a board, but the actual the real name is called a planchette, and this is normally the one that would go with this would be wood. This is plastic. Value is a real pretty conundrum. I just did some lookup, okay, and the value range in auction value I've seen is $40 to $2,400.
Oh my
Now,
God.
the one that's $2,400 is really dark, and they say in the thing it was owned by a witch. And but it's this one, and it was sold at some weird auction of stuff.
Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah, so you know,
That's right.
Really? That's too funny.
I've always said value often is a function of time and place.
Right.
But this is a nice example. What's really good.
Yeah.
It's got all the writing on here, and you know it's a classic Baltimore piece. And I would say about 75 to 150 would be an auction estimate.
Right.
But and then you say, would it sell for more? No. Much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we're gonna scooch on over here. We have an interesting looking item at Collectibles with Laura Woolley. Hello, hi sir. I'm gonna put this on you. Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
I'm gonna give this to you. Great. Jody, get off.
So
You
you,
want that
got to
turn-
get over from this side because you got to capture it in all of its glory.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot of Elvis. So what's interesting, this hangs on the wall.
It hangs on the wall. There's two things. There's no labels on it. And my daughter found it as a gift for me to add to my Elvis collection. And supposedly it came from one of the hotels in Vegas.
Who knows?
Yes.
But what we do know is that it's probably from the 70s.
Okay.
There's a big tradition of what we call chalkware or painted plaster figurines and things that were very popular at that time. What I've discovered is there's a whole series of these. There's Marilyn Monroe in a bumper car. There's the Blues Brothers in a bumper car. There's
Okay.
Grant in a bumper car. So they took a lot of famous figures, put them in a bumper car,
Okay.
and made a wall hanging out of it because it's a lot of look, as they say. What's interesting is this is based on, like, there are pictures of Elvis actually riding in bumper cars.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's like not an unknown thing, the idea of having Elvis documented at an amusement park. The values are kind of all over the place. The last one of these that came up did $75, but they've done as much as $250, and it really depends on who happens to be looking at the auction at that moment because you need a big spot of space in your house for this. It's
Right.
not like an impulse purchase, right?
This one sits in my office on a table. So.
And now we know. But whether it was in a hotel or not, it's difficult to say. It may have been.
Okay.
I don't think that would really change the value so much.
Okay.
Unless it was at the Hilton International where Elvis performed, and you could say maybe it was in the suite that then maybe you'd be talking about more value. But
Right.
just as a decorative, fun thing.
Right.
Very cool.
Well, great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much. I'm gonna take this from you.
In and out.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So now we're going to head over to sports. So once again, we're at the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore, and you're live on set with Antiques Roadshow. We'll be filming live appraisals for the next hour or so, and we want your questions. We want to know what you are curious about our appraisals, questions for our appraisers, and for our producers. A little later on, we'll be talking to executive producer Marcia Bemko. I hear we have something over in sports, but let's see what's going on here. See if we can catch the tail end of this appraisal.
WHA, which is the World Hockey Association, was founded. They lost a lot of their great players like Jerry Cheevers, and then everything changed.
Are we filming this one for YouTube Live? No? Oh, okay. Do you mind if we catch the tail end of this?
Catch anything.
Great. Thank
So,
you.
oh, sure, it's fine. Do you want me to start over, Melanie?
No, that's
All
okay.
right. So I'll take you guys. So you bought this in Quincy, right? You paid $50. So why? Yeah, well,
I'm wondering that too.
yeah.
Well, I was up there on a youth hockey tournament,
Yeah.
and our son Reed was a defenseman, and we were both Bobby Orr fans.
Well, how could you not be a Bobby Orr fan? Because he changed the entire way the game was played. I mean, this was the first offensive defenseman. You know, he led the league in scoring twice and still stands for defenseman.
Wow.
He was a phenomenal player. And he, you know, the Bruins for years were losers. He changed them into winners. That's how they ended up getting better players, built the team up, and won the first Stanley Cup and one of the most iconic poses of him flying in overtime
across
over
the
the goal after they tripped him after he scored the winning Stanley Cup goal. One of the most famous photos of all time. They won in 70, they won in 72. Yep. Unfortunately, by this time in 73, he had been getting hurt. He tore his ACL. Nowadays, that would get fixed, but it really was what really, he ended up having numerous operations, ended up going to Chicago. His career was never the same. But just in the short period that he was in the league, he definitely revolutionized the game. Phenomenal player. This card, you're okay at $50. We value cards by the player, the issue, and then the grading on a scale of 1. So Bobby Orr, you can't get much better, right? His most valuable one, that's from 1966. This is from 73, and you know it's clean. It's, you know, probably grade out on a scale of 1 to 10, probably around a 5. So I would say you're probably looking at about $75 to $100 on it. So you did good. But obviously, look, obviously for you it's priceless, right?
Right. It's a keepsake.
It is a keepsake, absolutely. So there you go. Thank you. And the Manning ball, look, Peyton still signs, but it's expensive to get Peyton's signature. So I'd probably on the Peyton Manning ball put $300 to $500. It's not easy to get his signature. It's like $500.
Really?
So there you go. On the secondary market, the auction market, they'll sell for less. But yeah, $300 to $500.
Well, I feel better because our son is 23. So why are you being mad? He's worth nothing.
He's wrong.
He's wrong.
He's youth. Wasted on the young.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you so much. $300 to $500. Okay, we'll tell our son that it actually belongs to.
There you go.
$300 to $500.
Thanks, you guys, for coming in.
Thank you so much, Lee. Actually, someone from YouTube has a question for you.
Yes.
Where did you get all your sports knowledge?
It's a really good question. I don't know anything important. I just know this stuff, basically. I grew up in Boston, diehard. So, and full disclosure, I valued Bobby Orr's collection years ago. So I know him. I know that collection and his career intimately. But I grew up a Boston sports fan. So I'll give you an example. My grandfather played football at Yale. My uncle Nick was in the Red Sox farm system before World War II. My aunts were nationally ranked tennis players, and my dad was a demo derby and a stock car driver. So does it get any more sports in my family?
I don't know. I don't think so. Do you play anything?
I grew up playing softball, volleyball, and tennis. Those were my favorite sports. Unfortunately, torn rotator cuff, ACL, and broken ankle. I play golf now because the worst thing that gets hurt on the course is my feelings, and I can deal with that.
Perfect. Thank you. We actually have a gentleman right here who's agreed to be on YouTube as well. If you wouldn't mind looking at one more.
Yeah, so listen, we're going to bring this up. I don't know what's best for, right. So, and I'm going to get on the other side. So the reason why we wanted to do this is because we're right near Pimlico, which is the home of the Preakness, one of the Triple Crown, along with Belmont and Kentucky Derby. Tom brought this in because he will tell you the story now. And we'll start off. Tom, why did you bring in this painting?
Well, I brought this painting in. I don't really know too much about the actual artist, but this is my grandfather here. And he, as she said, rode in many races, including the Kentucky Derby and Pimlico. Was the winningest rider in 1914, and in 1916 had the total purse award winnings as well.
Yeah, it was like over $100,000,
like
right?
$155,000.
Which on today's is millions, absolute millions.
Yeah.
He probably would have been a superstar today,
Yeah.
but he rode for 24 years, 1913 to 1937. Do you know what he did after that, Tom? He was a judge. There you go.
See, I learned something new too.
From jockey to judge.
Yeah.
And you know, you've got to figure, he's a racetrack judge. Oh, there we go. So he officiated the races. Well, he would know what to look for too, right? With a jockey, you get the phrase jockeying from, you know, giving
sure
the
it was all
elbow.
up and up too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But he was winningest jockey in 1914. He did not. Do you know if he ever raced in the Preakness?
Yes, he did race in the Preakness and the
Okay.
Kentucky Derby. He finished second in the Kentucky Derby. I don't remember what year it was, and I
Right.
don't remember the actual horse, but I know that was the
But you know-
highest that he got.
But you know, Tom, what's interesting? Did you follow horse racing?
A little bit, yeah, sure.
Okay. In this day and age, you know, horse racing is based around those three different
Yeah,
races,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Kentucky Derby, Preakness, and Belmont.
Right.
But in those days, it was a way of life for a
Yeah.
lot of
Well,
people.
it was like boxing back in the day too. Like everybody was into it. They listened to it on the radio, God forbid, right?
It was a
You know?
huge sport. It was
Yeah.
a huge spectator sport. People gambled on it. People
Right.
went there. They listened to it on the radio. It was very exciting. So this painting was done by a guy named E. Burns, right? And it's
Correct.
dated right here, 1913. Now, Tom, we don't know why he did this, but you said that his brother is also a jockey in
Yeah,
here
Tommy
too.
as well. And
Right,
he
your
was-
namesake.
Right. And my great uncle, I guess that would be, right.
But we don't know what race this is from or why this was done. It's a mystery, and we haven't had time to do any research. But the great thing about this is you do have these other jockeys. If we did research, we could probably find out
Like pin it together or something.
exactly what
Right.
race it was from.
Yeah.
So when we're valuing this, you know, it's the artists themselves, but it's also the image and the collectible value.
Right.
The artist was able to find is an equestrian artist
Really?
from that
Okay.
era, but is mostly
Right.
known for horse paintings. So interestingly, he decided to do this. My guess is this had to be after a big win, because why else would he
Right.
be in the center and the others
Right.
around? And then you've got the horse, you've got the horseshoe for good luck, and then all of these that are entered in here. So that's my guess. You're not going to put the winner here
Right,
when you can
right,
put
sure.
the winner there. So value-wise, based on his market and the quality of this and the provenance and who we
Right.
know that it is, without being able to do more research, it's probably $1,500 to $2,000.
It's cool. Yeah, right.
You know, it's better getting that than having to put $10 down and try to win a race.
Right, right. Well, I'm gonna on the way out. I'm gonna hit the track.
There
like
you
this.
go. So I think we have a winner.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Mel.
There we go. All right, we're gonna cover this way back to dolls. Excuse us. So once again, we're at the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore, and this is a large venue. So if there's any audio or video problems, just let us know in the chat, and we'll try to remedy it as soon as possible. Again, if there's any people, appraisers, or categories that you want to see, just let us know. We'll try to make our way over there. I hear we have something at dolls. We're going back to dolls, and then we'll try to make our way over down to furniture, folk art, and then go from there. So let's head over. Glass. Okay, we can definitely see glass. All right. Hello. Is this the YouTube? This for YouTube? Will you be doing this?
And you ready for us? Now you can view all those ones out. Tell me about your dolls.
Yes, they are from my mother. She got them as a kid in probably about 60 years ago on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. And that's pretty much all I know about them. They had them sit on, she didn't play with them much, or she just had them sit on them.
Yeah, they were kind of look at dolls. But what was happening in Atlantic City when she got them?
No clue.
Okay.
No clue.
Okay. So this little company, it's Klumpke, and some of them are I call them Klumpke types, made in Spain, and they're always about characters, and they really weren't play dolls. They were more, like you said, you put them on a shelf and enjoy them. So you've got a ballet dancer here putting on her shoe. You've got this wonderfully, hold on, I have to do this in the morning too. That's how I put my head on in the morning.
Yes, don't we all?
So then you've got he's sort of being a funny doctor, but at the same time, I think he's a little bit of a creepy doctor.
Yes.
I wouldn't go to him. He's holding pistols, and then you have sports people. There's the nurse that goes with the doctor. And then, oh my God, this one kills me. This is Dad taking you to the beach, and they painted on the body hair he didn't get waxed before he went to the beach.
Yes,
okay,
it was fashionable.
I mean, this is like, oh my God. And then the little kid. And of course, they had, oh, I love this one too. This is my kind of woman here. She's got her valet, she's got her hat box, and her favorite person in the world, her dog. They are made of felt and cloth, and they have like little wire armature arms, so you could move them a little bit and pose them. And okay, doctor.
Yeah,
let's don't go crazy.
And find this one as well.
Yeah, she's chatting away on her
Yes, she is.
telephone, which a lot of young people don't even know what that is anymore or how to use it. I had a friend say, but how does it work? So they're made of felt. They have mohair wigs. They have little painted faces. They typically retail between $50 and $25. I mean, $15 and $25 a piece.
I see.
Some go for a little more. Some are a little bit naughty because, yeah, she's like, if I was a ballet dancer, that's what I'd be doing, showing my rear end. And then this one other doll is not by that company, is by Bradley of Korea. And again, it's a molded stockinette doll, sort of the same feeling. These were made in the 60s, and retail on them are like $10 or $15.
I see.
Yeah.
Very.
Anything else I can tell you about?
No, greatly appreciated. Very interesting to find out a little bit about them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Billy. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to keep moving on. So let's Kino as well. Unfortunately, he is talking to a producer right now. So what that means is he saw an item. I think he's at Folk Art or Furniture Table today. He saw an item, piece of furniture, that he thought would be really good to go on TV. And so he called the producer over. And so he's pitching the item to go on TV. And if the producer thinks that the item is TV worthy, then the guests will go to the green room and wait for a TV camera crew, like one of these ones you see right here. So this is one of our multi-cam units. And right now, Catherine Vandell looks like is filming an appraisal.
What percent of pitches get approved?
What percent of pitches get approved? That is a good question that we can ask Marcia. I'm pretty sure. I think I asked her this before, and it's most of them. I think we'll have to ask her. Save that question for the end. And so once the item is ready to be taped, it's taped. Their appraisal is taped, and then that's it. And so these episodes that we're filming for season 29 will come out in next winter/spring. 29 season will air then. So let's see what is over here at Watches. Oh, it looks like here's Marcia over there. It looks like, I wonder if she's pitching something. Okay, let's see. Let's go over to jewelry. It looks like there's some folks over here at jewelry. So again, this venue is very large. It's a very hot day out, so we're just we have precautions in place to make sure everybody is staying out of the heat, out of the weather. Let's see. See what's over here at jewelry. All right, we have something at jewelry. Great. Your hair looks great. Hi, Sarah.
You're lying to me again. Okay.
And what is your first name? I'm Emily. Emily. Hi. Melanie. Thank you, Melanie.
So tell me your story here.
So this is my great-grandmother's anniversary bracelet, and it was passed down from my grandmother. And I don't know much beyond that.
Now you know it says 1883 to 1908, 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fantastic. It's just totally fantastic. Your bracelet is a Victorian gold bracelet. Let's see if it's marked anywhere of the gold value. No, but we can test that for you to see what assay of gold it is. And it's set with seed pearls and an amethyst. Some of the seed pearls are worn, some have been replaced, some are missing entirely. Mm-hmm. It's seen a lot of love. These can be replaced, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. A good, sensible jeweler who swears not to polish this. Very important that he doesn't polish this,
Okay,
because
no polish.
the nature of the nature of the color here. This is called toning. This has gone dark, correct? It's not bright yellow. Gold does not tarnish, but in alloy with the silver and the copper to make it have the properties we need for jewelry, 14 karat probably. It has that amount of silver and copper in it, and those two materials do tarnish, and that's called toning. So that's what we have here, toned gold. Now we're going to test it for assay. Now I don't have, let me give it a clean piece of paper here because people are looking at us. But I'm going to protect my table because the stuff eats right through the table. Ruins more tablecloths this way. We've got calibrated acids for 14 karat with the green top, 10 karat with the yellow top, 18 karat goes here. And what we're simply going to do is going to take off a breath of gold from the outside of this jewelry, just a breath. It's going to be imperceptible. I'm going to take it, scratch it to the edge. We get this little yellow line. I'm going to take 2 yellow lines because Victorian jewelry, sometimes plated, is notoriously plated well. And sometimes the gold-plated jewelry, which I do not believe this is, will hold for a few scratchings on the acid. So now I'm taking 14 karat acid. I'm dropping a tiny bead here. Up, it disappeared. You see that? The line disappeared. But if I take 10 karat acid, let's see if she holds. Yeah, we still see the line. So it's 10 karat or above because the line is holding. It could be anywhere between 10 karat, 13 karat, 12 karat. It's not marked. It's probably American. And there's no mandatory, no obligatory stamps and tariffs and assay marks at this period of time. So that's what we have here.
Oh my goodness.
A gold bracelet from the Victorian era for 25th anniversary. Now, the gold is very high. Today in the summer of 2024, the gold is flirting at around $3,000, right? $3,000, $2,400, $2,300, $2,400. The last time I was in New York, we were getting paid out at $55 a pennyweight on 10 karat gold. Now this is probably above that. 14 karat gold was paying out at about $65 a pennyweight. A pennyweight, FYI, is a 20th of a troy ounce. Okay, so let's call it 10 just for argument's sake. So it's around 55 times that times 11.6. Turn this on. 55 times 11.6. So the gold value is in this neck of the woods. Now, it does include the weight of the stone. That's a gross weight. However, the piece of jewelry is well beyond the value of the gold because it's got family connection. It's an antique piece. It's easily repairable back to original condition. And I think in an antique shop, repaired a bracelet like this would bring between $1,200 and $1,500.
Wow. Amazing.
It's great.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Sarah. All right, so we're gonna head on over to Deck Arts. I hear there's something for us to film. So I saw a question in the comments about what has a lot of lines, and honestly, it depends on the city. Usually, paintings has the longest line. We usually bad connection. Okay, I apologize. We're actually walking around with a cradle point about a foot away from us, so we're doing the best we can. This is a large venue, so the Wi-Fi is a little choppy here. So I do apologize. Let's see. We have something over at Deck Arts. Is it here? Hi. We filmed this for YouTube. Great. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
We're gonna stick. Excuse me. Thank you so much. All right, you can start whenever you're ready.
So I'm hoping you can tell me about this and whether it's painted on porcelain or not. It's something from my great grandfather. One of his sons didn't live past 2-3 years old, so that was made as a memento of the little boy.
Well, it's actually painted on glass. I mean, this is a very soft, satiny glass, probably milk glass, and that they chose that because it had a satiny texture, which would lend to the softness of a portrait of a child.
Huh.
Which you want, especially in a sympathetic situation like that.
Is milk glass commonly available?
Milk glass was widely available at the time that this would have been painted. Yeah, very widely
At
available.
1857, I
Yeah,
think.
it would have been widely available and relatively affordable, probably more so affordable even than porcelain. Probably not the original frame. I think this frame is an early 20th century frame. Probably it would have had a molded or pressed brass frame, which was typical of paintings of the mid-19th century. And this frame dates to the 1920s or so. And it's Florentine. It's got the name of a Boston framer on the back of it. So it probably was made
Yes, it was in Boston.
in Italy and sold in Boston.
Here are all of his other siblings, and then here's the picture of him that it was painted from.
Okay, so that's from the photograph.
The photograph,
I would have assumed it was painted from the photograph, especially since it was post-mortem.
Yeah.
So many children died at that time.
Yeah.
It's really very sad.
Yeah.
But
No, thank you.
very sweet.
Oh, that's lovely. Appreciate it.
Thank you for showing it to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. And let's see, do you have time for one more over here? Yeah, you can send the next person over.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah, is that okay?
Sure.
Great. There's such a long line here.
Okay.
Hi, do you mind if we film your appraisal for YouTube Live? Great. Joni, you guys on him.
Well, obviously you know what it is.
Well, so what do you tell me what you know about
Well,
it?
I know it's the Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation
Uh-huh.
lamp that was made by the Yamagiwa company back in the 90s, early
Right.
90s.
Uh-huh.
They were limited edition. This one is number 65. That was sold in the United States. I did reach out to somebody from the company, and they responded and told me that this was actually number 55, available to the States because the first 10 are in the Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation vault.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called the Midway.
What happened? What happened to it?
I got it that way, unfortunately.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a shame.
let me just do a little looking real quick
Sure.
to see if I can find a recent sale for one like that.
Okay.
Have you done any research on it?
Some research, but it's all over the place when you go on the internet, and nothing really definitive. About a year and a half now. About a year and a half.
Do you remember what you paid for it?
Came out to about a little over 400 with the commission and everything. Yeah.
Very cool. Do you keep it in a special room or like
Downstairs in the basement on a desk. Yeah. No, it's on a desk. Yeah.
Okay. So what was the name of the design again?
The Midway.
Midway.
They make reproductions, but the original ones,
Yeah.
they stopped, I think, in 94, 93.
Okay, so here's one they're asking. This is a reproduction now. They're asking $3,000 for the reproduction.
Right. Yeah, I've looked at a lot of the reproductions. They don't have the foundation tag on the bottom.
Here is one that it does have the foundation label and the serial number, but it isn't that model. It's a Taliesin model, and it is does have the serial number on it, but. Sorry.
I think we have no
Yeah.
Wi-Fi service over
So, yeah, I'm having a hard time. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, Nico's good.
Yep.
Thank you. Sorry, I heard we're getting terrible Wi-Fi. Bad connectivity. Again, I apologize. It's a big zoo. Right now, we're in the historical part of the zoo. I think it's called the Main Valley, and it opened in 2021, I believe, to show guests what Victorian era zoo looked like. But on the other side, excuse us, on the other side is a fully functioning zoo. It's open. It's open today if anybody's in Baltimore and they want to come take a look. This is the third largest zoo in the country, so it's a very cool zoo. And hi, Nico. We are over here with Nico Lowry. Thank you for waiting. I apologize.
Did I hear you say this is a very cool zoo?
No, it's the third largest zoo in the country.
First of all, it's not a zoo. There's no animals here today. The only animals are the appraisers.
I saw vultures, actually.
There are some vultures. There's like a white owl and some prairie dogs. You see the prairie dogs? They're super cute. Anyway, tell us what you brought in.
I brought 6 posters from the Bicentennial time period.
And they came
1776.
and they came
1976.
from 1976,
Yeah.
the year of the Bicentennial, coincidentally.
Yeah.
Where did you get them from?
I got them at an estate sale out on Long Island, but there was a lot of posters that were all rolled up, and I just spent a lot of time going through them. So I just found some of them are really fascinating.
And when you bought them, how many did you buy in all?
I think in total about like 20, but they were different. These are the only ones that are specifically about the Bicentennial.
And do you remember how much you paid?
I mean, I got them as a lot, but I would say that they're probably like $5 to $10 each.
Nice. So these two are the smaller of the two, just a little easier to look at right now. I think these are really great. Get into America, getting ready for the Bicentennial. So these posters were printed in 1974, so it was 2 years in advance of the festivities. Here's the printing right on 1974, right there. And as you can see on the bottom, it says for sale by the Superintendent of Documents for $1.15. So you could have written away to the government, I guess sent a check or something for $1.15, and you would have gotten these. Very patriotic, very fun, very good and graphic. What do you think they're worth now?
I don't know. I mean, maybe 100 or 200, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, I think you don't need me here. I think my work here is done. Okay. That's about right. Surprisingly, given that they are from the Bicentennial, which is such a big celebration, and given that they were being sold by the government and that they're so attractive, which would make me think a lot of people would buy them, they're very hard to find online. They don't come up easily. But the ones that I found that are slightly less patriotic, I mean, it doesn't get any more patriotic than Uncle Sam and Abraham Lincoln. The ones that are slightly less patriotic tend to sell for about $150. So I figure, yeah, these about $150 or $200 each, which is great.
Yeah. It's good to dig.
It's good to dig, both online and in a estate sale.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. We already have it.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Great. I'm going to take this back to you. Thank you so much. All right, let's head on over to paintings. Excuse me. Look at this cool sculpture right here. Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
So right now, somebody was asking about long lines. Paintings is always the longest line we have. We have 8 appraisers usually on deck to film paintings. And our appraisers, they come from all over the country and they are not paid. We do not pay them. They come they pay their own way generously. And let's see if we have something over here. Let's see. Hi.
There he is. There he is. This is good.
Okay, not yet. So we're just looking for. Oh, let's head over to books in manuscripts. Let's see what's going on over here. So this is in one of our other multi-cam units over here behind me. So we have several camera units. We have 4 units that film appraisals in what we call over the shoulders. We have our B-roll camera unit, and then we have And then we have our digital. See, we have an item right. Hi, can I give you this microphone? I can put it right here. Thank you so much. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So one day I was in an antique shop and I got this book. I know about Oni because I went to the Postal Museum and I also have a stuffy of him.
And have you read the book?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. And what did he do at the post office?
He was a post dog.
He was a post dog. Did he deliver mail?
Yes, he did.
Really? Let's look at the book. This looks like an old book. Does it look old to you? Somebody wrote 1939 in there. Must be kind of old. And are there pictures of him?
Yeah.
Oh. I think it's cool that he's at the Postal Museum. So what do you think about something that's that old from 1939? Does that seem old to you? Like old-fashioned, like antique? Yeah. But it's still cool, right? Because the story is cool. So what would you like me to tell you about your book? What can I tell you about it?
Who is the author?
Good question. Good question. All of that information is usually on the title page. And it says a true story by Ava W. Hughes, illustrated by Leonard D. Warren. It was printed in New York City. And I think it's probably from around 1939. So before.
Oh, it says 1936 here.
Oh yeah, that's the copyright date. So that's the date that the author gave all of his work to the government and said, "This is my book. Don't let anyone steal my story." So for 1936, what do you know? Did you have to pay your own money to buy the book?
No.
No, somebody helped you out. You know, a sponsor. So you probably what do you think about like trying to figure out the value of something old? Do you care about that?
Kinda.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. The story is good, and it's something that you love, and that's the most important thing about collecting. I think your book is worth about $40, and I think it's really cool, and I'm really glad that you came and brought it. What do you think of that?
I really liked it.
Good. I had never even heard of this postal dog. So you taught me something too. Thank you for bringing it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, YouTube. Yep.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You're so cute. All right, so I hear we have something at Asian Arts. All right, let's see. Excuse us. So as I was saying before, this is one of our multicam units. And so we film in total about, I'd say 60 or so-ish appraisals a day. And then on top of that, we film tons of snapshots, which are those shorter 30-second appraisals. And so all the filming you see going on today is how we make up our three shows, our three city-based shows. And so that our season is made up of 15 city-based episodes, and our vintage episodes, and then we have a few special episodes, theme specials. This year, one of the theme specials will be Extraordinary Finds. So for those of you who've never seen Extraordinary Finds, we meet up with appraisers, guests who have items that have gone on to sell or be donated to a museum, and we talk to them about it and just hear about life after Roadshow for them. So it's a really cool episode. It's like a documentary. So that'll be airing sometime later this fall, which I'm pretty excited about because I was one of the producers on that show. All right, let's see what we got over here. We have Asian ancient art with Robert Waterhouse. Hi. Oh, over here. Hi. Asian art. Good. How are you? Is this all set for YouTube?
Great.
Great.
I'll do my best.
Yeah. No.
So what we have here is the kimono, 20th century silk. Looks like it's been worn. You can see here some signs of wear, some little signs of tearing as well. So you said you had it restored?
Yes, when we had our honeymoon in Japan, we took it with us.
Okay.
And we had the hotel arrange for
us to meet with a kimono maker in Kyoto, and they primarily tried to fix the stitching. I think the stitching was like even worse than it was before.
Okay.
And also like some of the gold painting had
Yes, I
fallen
noticed
off
right
completely.
here,
Like
yes.
this, I believe, was like worse than this. And so I know they went in and they sort of just painted in some of the colors for me. My primary thing I told them was like I wanted it to last longer. Like, you know, I wanted them to try to save it for me basically.
And do you wear this?
No, I do not. It's currently on display, but I was also hoping you could tell me maybe the best way to display it, because right now it's just out in the open, you know, on an obi hanger or on a hanger.
Okay, with textiles, condition is really important. So it's nice that you've gone to the extra care to have parts of it repaired, to just here with the stitching, with the golds restored as well. Textiles are really easily damaged by light. So if you're going to display it out in your living room or in a public space, I would recommend having draperies around so that it's not exposed to too much sunlight, because that will cause the fabric to fade. And one of the really beautiful things about this textile is how vibrant and colorful it is. You have this oranges and the reds, you have the greens here, the little pink coming up here, and the gold touches here, and then against that you have this swirling black and white background here. So you want to preserve that.
Do you have any idea what these are? Like, are these flowers? Are they fireworks?
Flowers. These are flowers. This is a bird. And you can't tell what kind of bird it is because we haven't seen it all the way around. Yeah, crane.
It's a crane?
Yes.
So I was wondering if it was a crane or a phoenix, or like how you tell.
Crane. Well, this could be a phoenix. I apologize. Phoenix. Doesn't have the red bump on the top of the head, which would indicate a crane. So something like this is 20th century. Again, a lot of it has to do with the condition. If you were going to display it, I'd recommend getting a custom rope stand.
A rope stand.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it could be freestanding, and you can have the entire robe draped over kind of a human-like form, but it's with a armature, metal armature, and you could see the whole front and back of it. And if you have an obi tied around it, you can get the full effect.
Okay.
And then you can see the complete decoration.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Insurance value. I would never sell.
Insurance value. Maybe $150. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was great. All right, and now we're going to head on over to Lark Mason for another appraisal. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. You're trying to fix me so I don't look messy.
You look great.
Okay. So I'm Lark Mason. Hi.
Hi, Dan Pluffjohn.
Dad.
Great. Nice to meet you.
All right. So where did you get these?
So my husband picked them up 30 years ago in a thrift store for $10, and we've been having an ongoing debate because shortly after he bought them, he didn't like them, but I have held on to them, arguing that they're valuable.
So why did he not like them?
I think they just didn't fit with the room that we had anymore, and he's more of a once you're done, let's purge.
Yep.
And so I'm more of the Rat Pack collector, and keep thinking that we should hold on to them for longevity. But now the question is, do they deserve a new home?
Well, I think they're images of childhood peace and calm and lack of worry.
Oh,
because
wonderful.
you see these bundled children, they're all wrapped up in swaddling clothes like the Christmas story. And what do you see around them? A little sweet bird clasped to the heart. And over here, I have dreams of little flowers and butterflies.
Oh, that's
And
wonderful.
all is at peace, and I'm not worried about anything. Don't you want to live like that?
I would.
I
He
do
needs
too.
that.
I do
So
too.
I think it's their keeper.
However, you can do that without having to look at these. So to answer your question, they should go to the thrift shop.
Okay.
I don't think that they're going to have a lot of value. They're woodblock prints. They were done probably in the 60s, but
Okay.
I doubt that they have a lot of value.
So pretty much worth the $10 we paid.
That's about it. But now you have all this kind of nice thoughts roaming through your mind. So that's going to make it worthwhile.
That's wonderful. At least now we know, and I like the story. So
Yeah.
I'm still going to argue we keep them.
Good. All right. Maybe in the bathroom or the bedroom.
Possibly. He'll probably say a closet.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. And Lark, we have another gentleman right here who would like to be on YouTube, if that's okay. If you have time for one more for us.
I have time for you all to do everything all the time, anytime.
Perfect. If anybody has any questions for Lark, please let us know in the chat, and we'll make sure we ask.
I could even go ballroom dancing with you.
Ballroom dance. We could do that in this heat. I don't know if you want to do that.
Mr. Lark, it's good to see you.
Welcome, Lark
Thank
Mason.
you.
Good to see you.
I know you from the show many, many times.
Good. And I love just opening bags and trying to figure out what's in there and try to fool me.
We picked this up at a flea market in Okinawan.
Yep. And this is exactly what I would have expected it to be, which is with these horses. There's a Chinese mythological story about these. I'm going to give the wrong name, but it was the horses of Wang Mu, I think. Who are the 7 horses?
Oh, King Wong.
Wang Mu, yes, yes,
Okay.
I'm right. Horses of Wang Mu. And the horses of Wang Mu is this mythological king, and the horses transported him to heaven, and all his desires were filled, and everything came out well.
Oh, well, good.
And that is the representative message on this is good, harmony, happiness, success in life. Encapsulated in this ovoid jar made in Okinawa.
Okay.
And it's glazed ceramic, and it's worth about $30 to $40.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And a more complicated one.
Uh-oh.
This doesn't have Wang Mu. This has dragons, and they're undulating in the ocean. And we can see on the base that this is actually not very old, because this has been wiped with a kind of a dark charcoal color. And it was probably made in the 60s or 70s. And it was not a utilitarian object. This is an art object. So it wasn't meant to do anything. You could put flowers in it, but it did not begin life as a storage jar. So the value of it's about the same price, $20, $30, $40 at auction.
I have one more in here.
And one more surprise, which is a hexagonal vase with a printed stamp mark that is archaizing characters meant to make you think it's really, really, really old, but we know it's not very old.
I've heard you say
It's
that.
actually from the 60s or 50s. And it has lots of little boys and pretty girls because everybody wants to have a big family of happy kids.
Well,
and it's worth about the same as the others. Y'all are consistent. $20 to $30.
We love the flea market. Thank you. We love the flea market at Okinawa.
Great. And Lark, we have 3 questions for you from our viewers. Somebody
Yes.
wants to know, what has been your favorite appraisal that you've ever appraised on Roadshow?
Oh, Lord, my favorite appraisal often is not that which is worth a lot of money. It's something where somebody comes and they have inherited something from their grandfather.
Yeah.
And they knew their granddad, and granddad passed away, and they want to know, why did granddad give it? And they've been aching to know the story. And I'm able to go back and say, you know what? This was a modest gift that your granddad got from his best friend who went off to war and died.
Yeah.
And that's all he's got.
Yeah. So something that's treasured, meaningful in the family.
Exactly. Not much value, but a lot of value to the person.
Value in the family. And somebody is wondering how you got your expertise in Asian arts.
I think it's because I have a curiosity about history and how objects tell stories and how you pull the truth, the stories out of those objects, because they were made by people just like us who had skills, and they were responding to interest in the marketplace for a particular item.
That's great. And last question is, have you ever dropped or broken an item on Antiques Roadshow?
I had a horrible experience, and very early in my career, I went to a client's house. Her prized item was on the mantelpiece, and I reached up to pick it up and look at it, and I slipped and it fell to the ground, and she was so kind. I was about 25 years old. I thought my career is over. I'm going to go back and end up being a janitor.
And
That
here you
didn't
are
happen.
today. It
That
didn't
didn't happen.
happen. All right. Thank you so much, Lark. Have a great rest of your day. All right. So we are going to go meet up with Marsha Bemko now, our executive producer of Antiques Roadshow. So let us know your questions for her. Drop them in the chat and we'll ask away. So once again, you're live on set with Antiques Roadshow. This is the final stop of our season 29 tour. So we are done traveling for the rest of this year. And so all the episodes that we make out of the 5 cities that we've been traveling to this past 2 months, they will air next year, early 2025. And if you want to attend a roadshow event next year, all you have to do is go on our website, pbs.org/antiques. Sometime next winter is when we drop our touring schedule for season 30. Can you believe it? 30 seasons of Antiques Roadshow. So go online next winter and you'll see, and you can apply. It's a sweepstakes. It's free. All you have to do is apply. All right, Marsha is talking to Sam. So she's Sam is our senior producer and another one of our pickers. So we have 4 picker producers who go to some of the appraisers and ask them more about the item that they wanted to pitch, like I was mentioning earlier. And so here we are. Hi, Marsha.
Hi there.
How are you? I'm going to give this to you.
Oh, because that way you can hear me?
Yeah, you look so great. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. A little hot, a little bit.
It's hot here,
It is
everybody.
hot. 90 degrees, I think.
I haven't checked my phone in the last few minutes.
Yes.
But whatever it says on there, it feels hotter.
Yeah, it certainly does. Somebody asked me earlier what percentage of picks get chosen to be taped. And I couldn't remember the answer.
You know what? I don't know the answer to that, the percentage of pitches taken. I'd have to look, to be honest with you. I can't answer it and tell you the truth. I could BS it a little bit for you if you'd like and say, hey, about half, but I have no idea really.
Okay, so even Marsha doesn't know.
Yeah, it's
So
not
I
off the top of my
apologize.
head. I want to get it right. I'm one of those who fact checks things, and I want to get it right. But I'm going to guess, I would guess, we'll see when we get home. You can follow up with this.
Yes.
I'm going to go with between 60 and 70%.
60 and 70%.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Marsha?
What's unique about this filming location?
What is unique about this filming location?
We have never been to a zoo before.
It's true.
And so if you listen carefully, oh, do you hear the animals in the background? Now that's ambient sound. It's of a new flavor. Yeah.
Yes, and I think the zoo is the 3rd oldest zoo in the country. 1876 is when it opened. I think that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And this is the Victorian style era of what the zoo used to look like. So,
I love
'cause
it.
we're in the historic part
I
of the
mean, because
zoo.
they have little cute houses that I guess it's a refreshment stand when it's open.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a cool place.
The zoo is open today. If you're in Baltimore and you want to come down to the zoo, you can go see some animals, check them out. What's your favorite city that you've ever been to?
See, here's the thing. It's like having favorite children. And I have more than one child. And I don't have a favorite child. But if I did, I wouldn't tell you. They all are my favorite. Because even if I had a favorite, I couldn't tell you. All the other 4 cities would feel bad.
So, Marsha, this is the final stop of our season 29 tour. And is there anything that you can tease us for next year?
Well, there's all kinds of goodies coming for next year. Do you want me to tell you specifically?
Are there plans to celebrate the 30th anniversary?
There will
next
be, but
year?
that's next year's tapings. We are here taping season 29. We're airing season 28 as we speak.
Mhm.
But yeah, next year we're going to do something.
Big plans?
Well, we'll see how big we can make it. We're in the middle of planning season 30 as we speak. We don't even know where we're going 100% yet, but that's what we're figuring out.
Jane says, OMG, spill the beans, Marsha.
Say that again, spill the beans?
Yeah.
I'm not a bean spiller. I mean, I can spill all kinds of beans. I really don't know, because we're really looking at places that we got to figure out, can we do it? And then we got to contract with them. Sometimes stuff happens then. So it's too early. I feel I'm superstitious, which my colleague Sam Farrell thinks is ridiculous, but I am superstitious. And so I think if I tell you, it won't happen. Seriously. I'll jinx it.
What is the funniest
What is the funniest appraisal we've ever filmed?
Funniest appraisal we have.
Funniest.
You think of that with me.
I mean, we had someone fall down.
Yeah, I think the guy in Fargo.
Yes.
With the watch falling down. That was pretty funny.
So what
Go
happened
watch
there
that.
with?
Well, it was Peter Plains doing a. He hadn't worn his Rolex,
Mm-hmm.
and so when Peter tells him it's a watch like this is worth 400,
It's higher than that.
400 to 500, and then he falls down, and then he stands back up, and he says, "But your watch is worth more." And then he put the final price of.
I think it was like 600,000. Yeah.
Certain categories. We will look for appraisers to fill that opening. How can you possibly be an appraiser on Antiques Roadshow? We're going to check your reputation. We're going to check your gossip. We're going to check it all before we allow you to be trusted by our guests. You're on PBS, which is one of the most trusted institutions in our country, and we're going to make sure we're worthy of that trust.
Have there been any bloopers?
Any bloopers on Roadshow?
Sure. Yeah, we've had some bloopers, but nothing really sexy enough to make you a blooper show. If that's what you want, you know, the bloopers are more like them screwing up the price and context. Like, it's not fun bloopers.
You know if anyone's ever broken anything?
No, we don't break it. The owners do, and then you hear it in the background. No, we're not capturing it.
Do you what is do appraisers want big reactions, or do you want big reactions on camera?
I'm a television producer. I want you to react. I want you to cry. I want you to throw yourself on the ground. And if you do that, you'll make the cut.
And we also don't want you to know much about your item. We want you to be surprised. We
Gee,
want
you
it to
gotta
be
be
educational.
surprised and then be dramatic.
Any last questions for Marsha before we wrap up?
What is your favorite part about your job?
What is your favorite part about your job? We'll end there.
Okay. Now, here's the thing that's going to surprise you. I love crafting the shows. I love the tour, but the challenge of getting back and crafting the shows with the existing footage is my favorite part of the job, because unlike 99% of other television shows, if you have a flub, you can go re-record. Not this one. And so I enjoy crafting the shows and making the shows for here on public television 56 minutes and 40 seconds long that you are going to love. So this is like getting all the material, and I love this day, and this is the last day of this season like this. But we're going to go home and work for months on crafting the shows.
Great. Thank you, Marsha.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. So that is the last live of season 29. Oh, I can take that back. Thank you for those who've watched with us on YouTube and on TikTok. Hopefully we'll be back next year with more lives. You can follow us at Roadshow PBS. We're on YouTube, obviously. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So follow us there, and be sure to check out our website. pbs.org/antiques. You can watch appraisals and full episodes there. You can also watch appraisals, full episodes on YouTube, and also fun clips and appraiser tips. But thank you so much. Thank you for bearing with us in this heat. And thank you. Yeah, watch us on